Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, as we read letters from the voyages of St. Frances Cabrini as she traveled around the Western Hemisphere sharing the good news of Christ. Welcome, Catholic pilgrims, to our last day of this voyage from New York to Havre, France. Maybe it's just me, but on this voyage, I wasn't really paying attention to the trip. Maybe it's because we've done the New York to Havre trip with Mother Cabrini already, but I almost forgot she was cruising across the Atlantic. And sure, there was the storms and the wind and such, but I wasn't as keyed into that. Anyway, this is one of the incomplete letters, so we won't get a report of entering the final port or a sign-off. We will, however, get my thoughts at the end. So let's open to page 246 and see this voyage out. September 9th. Our good celestial mother has quieted the waves. At her command, the sea became more and more beautiful. It really looks like a sky of most beautiful blue, and its tranquility gives one an idea of the soul united with Jesus, who preserves peace of mind and makes everything easy and possible. The steamer is traveling at a great speed, though we don't notice the movement, and yesterday did 427 miles, and is doing still more today. At a distance, we can see great fishing boats, and the sea looks so much like the sky that the boats appear as if suspended in the air. The faces of the passengers have now lost the look of sadness they had during the past stormy days. They are happy and contented, but it is not the weather alone that contributes to their state of mind, but the thought of this being the last day of the journey. Tomorrow, friends will meet friends, and merchants will receive their merchandise, which they have perhaps calculated will bring them great riches. We, leaning on our beloved Jesus, have always remained serene, even in the stormiest weather. Some priests on board would say often to us, "But you are always happy, like those who have a clear conscience." I do not know if we really have a clear conscience, but I do know we trust the most sacred heart of our Lord Jesus, and leaning on Him, we do not fear, knowing well that He has a special care of us, and that not one hair of our heads shall be touched without His permission. The other day, one of my followers, who loves to be contrarian, was talking about how he knows some amazing atheists who are, quote, better people than a lot of Benedictine monks, unquote. He went on to talk about how the saints just obsessed about sinning and worried about it so much, but the good old atheists are just genuine and wonderful just because. Something that people often do when they are trying to defend atheists against Christians is that they compare Mr. Wonderful Atheist to Mr. Terrible Christian. No, what you must do is compare Mr. Wonderful Atheist to a saint. You have to compare the best with the best. Not that I like this comparison stuff anyway, but if you're going to do it, then you have to do it right. The thing is, I believe atheists can be quote-unquote good people, whatever that actually means. All humans have the natural law written on their hearts, and this means that you can know what is right and wrong when it comes to natural moral things without God having to explain it to you. What you don't have are atheists that inspire because of the amazing ways they go beyond the natural law. I spent the last few days trying to come up with an atheist that will be well known for the rest of time as going above and beyond the natural law and doing what seems to be impossible. Yes, you've had some really smart atheists. You've had atheists that want to treat people good, but they can't really go beyond that into the supernatural stuff because they lack grace. They aren't open to it. Grace is the divine life within us. We have to be open to receiving it and cooperate with it. If you outright reject God, how can you have the divine life within you? That's pretty tough. Now, if you open yourself up to God, even a little, grace can find a way in. But you have to open yourself up. But this is why there are no atheists like St. Maximilian Kolbe, who gave his life for another man in the concentration camps. This is why there is no atheist like St. Damien, who volunteered to go be a priest to the lepers on the island of Malachi. He knew he may never come back to civilization, and he didn't. Leprosy got him in the end. This is why there is no atheist like St. Mother Teresa of Calcutta, who lived in the slums of Calcutta, tending to the poorest people imaginable. She gave her whole life for them. And I could go on and on. You will never find a litany of atheists with the workings and impact that we have with the saints. You need grace to do this. Mother Cabrini wrote on this voyage, quote, "Be assured, dear daughters, that if you are faithful in expressing your gratitude in the loving service of your God, Jesus, spouse of your souls, will work in you new prodigies of graces and blessings." The saints can do what they do. St. Frances Cabrini could do what she did because she was in service to God, and that means that graces flowed into her soul, giving her the power of the divine. So yes, there are bad Christians who have done very bad things, but that is because they have not followed the teachings of Christianity. Christianity didn't make them bad, their fallen nature did, and the rejection of Christ's teachings and the teachings of his church. But when you get a person who is obedient and wants to serve God by loving others, well, then you get the saints. And saints are the most impressive people the world has ever known. Why? Because they have the divine life in them. That is all for this voyage, Catholic pilgrims. Next time, we are headed to Buenos Aires, but until then, live the faith boldly and travel well.